Why do you still feel empty after trying everything? O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. Psalm 63 to 1:3. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that does not come from doing too much, but from wanting relief that never fully arrives. You try rest, you try discipline, you try distraction, you try belief, and still the dryness stays. Not dramatic, not loud, just present. Psalm 63 does not pretend this dryness is a failure. It names it as landscape, a dry and weary land where there is no water. This is not metaphorical exaggeration. It is experiential truth. There are seasons when the soul cannot manufacture refreshment, when motivation runs out before hope does, when desire remains but energy does not. David does not hide that tension. He says, I seek you, and in the same breath admits, I am thirsty. Faith and fatigue occupying the same sentence. That matters, because many people believe thirst means absence. They assume dryness means distance. They conclude that longing means something is wrong. Psalm 63 refuses that conclusion. Thirst here is not rebellion, it is honesty. My soul thirsts for you, not for answers, not for outcomes, for presence. David does not ask God to remove the desert. He asks God to meet him inside it. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary. Notice the direction. He does not say he escaped the land. He says he remembered God within it. Memory becomes survival. In dryness, the soul does not need novelty. It needs grounding. The sanctuary David speaks of is not a location of comfort. It is a place of encounter. A place where God was real enough to be remembered when relief disappeared. Some people are not losing faith. They are losing sensation. And sensation was never the measure of presence. Because your steadfast love is better than life. This line does not arrive from abundance. It arrives from contrast. Only someone who feels life thinning learns to say, love is better than it. David is not romanticizing suffering. He is reordering value. When comfort leaves, what remains reveals what mattered most. And for David, it is not ease. It is steadfast love. Love that does not depend on conditions. Love that does not withdraw with resources. Love that stays when the land stays dry. My lips will praise you. Praise here is not emotional overflow. It is orientation. It is choosing where to aim the mouth when the body feels empty. Some worship is loud. Other worship is stubborn. Psalm 63 is stubborn worship, not because David feels full, but because he refuses to let thirst decide truth. There are people listening who are tired of being told to just trust more. They trust God. They just feel dry. Psalm 63 does not scold them. It sits with them. It says, thirst is not disqualification. It is evidence you are still alive. Dead things do not thirst. Only living souls do. If you still want God, even without relief, even without clarity, even without comfort, that desire itself is faith. David does not ask God to prove himself. He declares he is already worthy, not because circumstances improved, but because love remained. Some love is useful. Some love is essential. Steadfast love is essential. It does not solve the desert. It makes the desert survivable. If today your prayers feel repetitive, simple, almost dull, that is not failure. That is endurance. Psalm 63 is not a breakthrough psalm. It is a staying psalm. And staying, when leaving would be easier, is one of the deepest forms of faith. Staying does not feel heroic. It feels repetitive, unnoticed, quietly heavy. Because staying means waking up thirsty again, praying the same prayer again, feeling the same dryness without fresh language to dress it up. Psalm 63 does not hide that repetition. It does not compress the desert into a single moment. The thirst continues, and yet David keeps seeking. Not with urgency, with persistence. Early will I seek you. Early does not mean eager. It means before distractions arrive, before the day gives him reasons to numb himself. Early seeking is not emotional. It is directional. You choose where your hunger points. Some people do not need stronger faith. They need permission to keep desiring God without pretending that desire feels good. Desire can ache. Desire can tire the body. Desire can feel like longing that never quite lands. And yet, desire is not absence. It is attachment. My flesh faints for you. Faith is not abstract here. It is physical. The body feels it. The nervous system carries it. There are seasons when the body knows before the mind does that something essential is missing. David does not spiritualize that sensation away. He names it. Fainting flesh is not weak faith. It is honest faith. Some exhaustion comes not from sin, but from staying awake in a world that keeps demanding adaptation, constant adjustment, constant response, constant emotional output, and the soul dries out. Psalm 63 does not say, fix the dryness. It says, bring it. Bring it into language. Bring it into prayer. Bring it into presence. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary. Looking here is not glancing. It is anchoring. David is not searching for new revelation. He is returning to what already held him. Memory becomes lifeline. When the present offers no water, memory becomes a well. Not memory of ease, but memory of encounter, power, and glory. These are not ideas. They are experiences David has survived before. The soul does not need novelty when it is tired. It needs familiarity that has proven faithful. There are people listening who think they need a new word from God. What they may need is permission to remember the old one, because the old one carried them before. Because your steadfast love is better than life. This line becomes heavier the longer you sit with it. Better than life. Not better than comfort. Not better than success. Better than life. That means David is choosing love over the instinct to preserve himself at all costs. When life feels thin, love becomes thick enough to stand on. Steadfast love does not rush relief. It does not manipulate circumstances. It remains. And remaining is powerful. Some love performs. Some love stays. Staying love is the kind that does not sparkle, but it holds weight. My lips will praise you. David does not say his heart will overflow. He says his lips will speak. Sometimes praise is not an emotion, it is an act of alignment. You speak truth so your soul remembers where it stands. There are days when praise feels mechanical, forced, almost empty. Psalm 63 says that does not disqualify it. Praise is not invalidated by dryness. It is shaped by it. Stubborn praise is still praise. If you are listening and wondering why worship feels quieter than it used to, you are not broken. You are tired. And tired worship still counts. David does not demand intensity from himself. He offers consistency. He keeps showing up to God without requiring God to fix the land first. This is faith without leverage. No bargaining, no performance, just presence. Some people confuse longing with lack of faith. Psalm 63 reveals the opposite. Longing is faith. that has not shut down. Numbness is the greater danger. If you still ache, still want, still thirst, your soul is alive. Dead things do not long, they settle. David refuses to settle, not because he believes relief is imminent, but because love remains better than life, and that changes posture. I will bless you as long as I live. Blessing here is not gratitude for outcomes. It is loyalty. It is deciding who deserves honor even when circumstances disappoint. Lifting hands is not dramatic. It is surrender. Open palms say, I am not pretending to hold what I cannot. Some surrender happens only after striving fails, not as defeat, but as clarity. David does not romanticize the desert. He survives it with honesty. He does not escape thirst. He walks with it. And in doing so, he discovers that presence does not depend on comfort. God does not withdraw because the land is dry. He meets his people there. There are listeners now who feel spiritually dehydrated and emotionally overextended. They are not asking for miracles anymore. They are asking for endurance. Psalm 63 offers that, not by promising water tomorrow, but by reminding you that steadfast love is enough today, enough to breathe, enough to stay, enough to keep seeking without collapsing into despair. If today all you can say is, I am still here and still thirsty, that is not a failure of faith. That is Psalm 63 faith. Faith that refuses to quit even when relief delays. Faith that keeps choosing presence over numb escape. Faith that believes love is better than life even when life feels thin. And that kind of faith does not burn out. It endures. Quietly, stubbornly, faithfully, until one day, without announcement, the soul notices something shift, not because the land changed, but because the soul learned it was never alone in it. That is the promise David rests in. Not water on command, but love without withdrawal. And if tonight you are thirsty, tired, still showing up, God is not disappointed in you. He is near, still. Amen.